So this is exciting. Thursday, big season finale.
Yeah, it's happening. Well, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
But the last 2 episodes are always a build-up together, so it's kind of like 2 finales.
Is it? Because Shonda kind of like teases us in that way.
Exactly. You kind of see where the storylines are going, and then you're left to sort of wonder for another week. But the drama absolutely starts Thursday.
So basically we're all sort of like mild palpitations and...
Yeah. Everyone needs wine, everyone needs food, and tissues. Always to cry.
I know there's so many. I know we always need the tissues, but particularly with these season finales. Will we need a whole box of Kleenex this time round?
Yes. Because here's the thing about this season. Yes. Sorry, I'm like remembering. Yes, because everyone has their own storyline going on. There's so much. So whatever couple or character you love, there's something dramatic happening to them. So you're crying one minute, you're laughing the next. I mean, that's how the finales go.
So before you came into, the Grey's fold, were you a huge fan of the show? Did you have favourites before you kind of came into the series?
Yes, I was a huge fan of the show. I first moved to LA when Grey started in 2005, I think now. And so that was, I didn't have many friends. And so they were like my TV friends. I lived vicariously through Grey's Anatomy.
I mean, you had some friends with some serious issues then, because there was a lot of drama in those beginning seasons.
I did. I loved I mean, it's funny because now I'm with Alex on the show, and I hated Alex when I first, was watching it. I was like, he's such a jerk.
Oh, as a viewer, you didn't like it?
Yeah, as a viewer, now I love him, and I have loved him, as because his character has really developed over time and sort of turned over a new leaf-ish. He's a little bit of a bad boy, but I think that, I mean, back then the McDreamy thing was going on, and I don't know how you couldn't get sucked in.
Was it a big thing for you, when McDreamy was killed off? Was there a moment, collectively with the cast that people were concerned, is there going to be a huge, either not drop off on necessary ratings, but just the show was so built up for a long time on that kind of tension between those characters? You know
what's funny is that we have so many characters that are so huge. We lost Sandra Oh the year before, so I think what we've continued to see is that the audience is really loyal, and really this has been Meredith's story all along. So this is just a continuation of her love story, her friendships, her work story, her career. So I think that, of course, you're always worried when you lose someone that's so huge and the audience adores, but we have a way of evolving always.
So how do you categorize where Joe and Meredith, their relationship is at right now?
I know, they're so tricky together. You know what, I think that they're good right now. I think that there was a lot of tension going on, and I think that Alex is her best friend, Joe loves him, and so I think that there was tension there, Meredith being protective, but I think they're good. I think that the outburst that Joe had was good and bad. But I think that it needed to happen.
Like clear the air sort of thing.
It did, yeah. So I think they're good right now, but who knows? I mean, all the relationships on Grey is kind of flip-flop, and so I'm waiting for it to sort of flip again.
Is it more fun as an actor though? So, obviously when Joe had that kind of outburst, I should imagine they're quite fun moments for you as an actor sort of to play and to be able to have that kind of emotion.
They are and they're not. They are. I was wanting Jo to kind of stick up for herself, so I was excited for that scene. But it's difficult because I love Ellen Pompeo too. So even just the dynamics of working a scene where, because at the end of the speech that Jo gives, which is like, she's owning, her moment, she kind of does a throwaway comment about, go get your own boyfriend. So I was like, do we have to say that line? And they're like, yes, you have to say that line. So that's hard. Those moments are hard.
Also, I've got a comment here coming in from one of our viewers. Chris Cole Langworthy said, wow, I didn't know you had an accent. You get that a lot?
It surprises me. I do still get that a lot, but it surprises me because I feel like a lot of people know that I also play Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games, who's English. So I wonder if they just think that I can do a British accent, whereas really I'm flip-flopping back and forth and really doing the American
accent.
Yeah, but I assume that most people know now, but I don't think they do.
I mean, obviously you're an actor and accents are sort of part of the repertoire.
Yeah.
But is it ever difficult to maintain the American accent when you're filming Grey's?
Yeah.
Do you sort of stick an accent wherever you are?
So when I film a show, I stay in an American accent all the time. Kevin McKidd, he goes back and forth.
Okay, interesting.
I can't do that. And I get in trouble because every summer I go home and my accent really comes back. Like right now it's kind of mixed, but when I go home it completely comes back, and then when I get back on Grays, for like the first day, Joe Wilson's suddenly completely British. Yes, and I have Scripty telling me like, you know, Camilla, you need to be American.
Do you have your family sort of saying to you when you come back home, oh, that's an Americanism you've been dropping in?
Oh yeah, I think my dad's horrified. He's like, remember you're British. He thinks I sound very American. Yeah.
Well, Jen Zip says, whoa, she fakes her American accent so well on the show.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah.
I do make mistakes all the time and get called out for them.
Well, who's called you out?
So we have a script supervisor that's making sure that we're saying all of our lines.
Right.
But she's also making sure that I sound American. So there are times when I'm like, let's go to the OR. And she's like, you're going to have to redo that line. And so I'll redo it. Or sometimes even, there's been a couple times that she hasn't caught it and it's been caught and I have to go into ADR and I have to go over a line more American.
Oh, really? That's fine. Well, I mean, it's all part and part. I mean, you bring a different dynamic.
It's very rare. It's very rare. I think I'm getting better.
So let's talk about Alex for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. What are you allowed to tell us as to where their relationship is going to be by the time we get to the finale?
I'm allowed to say two things. I'm allowed to say there will be clarity on their relationship by the end of the season, because right now there's so many things up in the air, but there will be answers.
Are there going to be labels? Are we going to have official, like, are we going to see fiance labels actually thrown around and permanent?
Say that. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm specifically not allowed.
What happens if you say that? Will like non-disclosure agreements rain on you like some horrible...
I will be getting a call from ABC right now, probably. But also, actually something that's interesting is that Jo has been keeping something to herself. And that gets revealed. Whether it's good or bad, I can't tell you, but there has been something she's been keeping to herself.
Is she pregnant?
No comment! I know, my Twitter has like blown up because people are thinking really crazy things. I mean, really crazy things.
What is the craziest thing someone has thought? I mean, because you are very engaged, by the way, I have to say. If you haven't seen Camilla's Twitter handle, if you don't follow her, you really should, because you're very engaged with your fans, I think. You're very funny on Twitter.
Thanks. I think the craziest thing that I'm trying to say, I mean, there's been so many. Like, I think someone wrote that I'm dead and I'm like an illusion and I'm walking around like a ghost.
Or like full like Dallas kind of, like JR. Or like Bobby in the shower.
Ghost, like Ghost. And like nobody knows. I mean, there's some really weird things out there. But yeah, something will be revealed.
Well, I've got a comment from Julie Staney Minialoff, who says they should feature her more on Grace. She's precious, with a heart emoticon.
Oh, so cute. Well, we have a big cast, so they're constantly having